The Saints just had their biggest practice of the year. It was a scrimmage between the offense and defense. The quarterbacks got lots of reps. They rotated. The team in general ran 126 plays, which is actually insane. And what we learned from these 126 plays in this practice is that the Saints quarterback battle got a little bit ugly today, which is not what you want to see or hear. On the bright side though, we had multiple defensive players standing out for the team, including an undrafted rookie who continues to make plays. And while the quarterback battle went ugly today, the team may have hinted who they have as the team's starting quarterback right now. And we're here to break that all down in today's video. I'm Cash, and you should take 5 seconds to like the video and subscribe, help support the channel. We're trying to hit 15,000 by the end of the year. 15,000 subscribers. We're about to hit 13,000. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate the support. Let's keep this thing going into the preseason. And we have 1 week until the Saints' first preseason game. And with all that being said, let's dive into it. So the Saints just had their biggest practice of the year so far, and obviously the first talking point is going to be the quarterbacks. How did they do in these 126 plays during the scrimmage, the most high intense pressure, high intensity, and competitive practice that they've had to this point under Kellen Moore? Now, before we get into the details, something I found really interesting is the fact that second-year quarterback Spencer Rattler started off as the team's QB1 in the scrimmage. He was the first quarterback in the rotation. And this is pretty interesting because yesterday they had Rattler rolling with the third-team offense for the first time. They might have been doing that so Jay Kaner got some elevator reps yesterday, and because he wasn't going to get them today. Regardless, though, the Saints starting off with Spencer Rattler as the starting quarterback for the scrimmage, I think it might hint or showcase that they're leaning towards him being the week 1 starter as things stand right now. But that can change. We still have 3 preseason games and a whole bunch of practices left before week 1. But as things stand right now, I find it interesting that Rattler was the first quarterback in the rotation. He was the starting quarterback. And I'm assuming if they had a game tomorrow, Spencer Rattler would be the starting quarterback. Now, I won't go into all the details from today's practice. I try to keep these videos like 10 to 13-ish minutes, give or take a few minutes here or there, but we'll go over the bigger stuff or more important stuff that I find interesting. For Spencer Rattler's day, he started off pretty good. His first 2 drives, he led the team into the red zone. He connected with Rashid Shaheed on a pretty nice play. Downfield, nice pass, hit him on the sideline. But both drives for Spencer Rattler to start off the day stalled in the red zone and resulted in field goals, no touchdowns. So he got them in position to score, but he was not able to get them into the end zone. Took a few sacks, had to throw the ball away. On the opening drive for Spencer Rattler, he went 5 of 8, getting them in field goal range. And then on second drive, he went 2 of 3. So pretty consistent overall from those first 2 drives. He went 7 of 11. Not too bad, only 4 incompletions. But after those first 2 drives, Spencer Rattler and the offense he was leading started to fizzle out, and the offense never gained momentum or got into rhythm again. And Spencer Rattler's moment of the day wasn't a positive moment. It was a bad moment for him, especially in the stat sheet, and especially if you're keeping track of touchdowns and interceptions. This moment is definitely one that Spencer Rattler is going to want back. Rattler's moment of the day was this interception looking at Kevin Austin Jr. and Kool-Aid McKinstry, who's having a killer camp, picked him off. The pass is going to be to the wide receiver over here behind this guy. He's running a slant over the middle. Hopefully they get a better view of it. There's the pick. Kevin Austin Jr. just got completely bullied on the play. Had no chance. Kool-Aid McKinstry just completely shut him down. And a great job from Kool-Aid. And then he got the pick. And I'm assuming he was down. But overall, that was Rattler's moment of the day. And it wasn't a good one. In the play before this interception by Kool-Aid McKinstry, he almost had a near interception as well. Literally one play before, Rattler was looking, I believe, for Michael Jacobson or Jack Stoll. I'm not too sure which tight end it was. Julian Blackman broke up the pass. It was a really nice play from the safety, and Kool-Aid McKinstry almost came up with the interception. The interception isn't fully Spencer Rattler's fault, but overall, it's a pick. It's a mistake that he made. Not saying it's 100% his fault. It was the second-team offense against the first-team defense, so obviously odds are against them, kind of like how they were last year, playing with a third-team offense against a starting defense. But overall, in a big practice like this, 126 plays in a scrimmage, high competitiveness, you would have liked to see Spencer Rattler maybe do a little bit more, in my opinion. Would have liked to see him maybe separate himself from the other quarterbacks, build on what he'd been doing in previous practices. So not the best day overall for Spencer Rattler. Moving on to the rookie Tyler Shuck. His day actually started off pretty good. Similar to yesterday, it feels like the light bulb for him hasn't officially turned on, but it's flickering here and there. It's flickering a little bit. The light is turning on occasion. He had a really nice pass to Chris Olave yesterday over the middle between the linebackers. That was a nice play, as you see on your screen. And then today, he started off the day going 8 of 8 and threw a touchdown on his first drive, and it looked like, okay, things are starting to click for Tyler Shuck. It's going to be the day he breaks out and has the big day at camp. Looking at the clips from the opening drive, Tyler Shuck was getting the ball out fast. He was being decisive. He was making aggressive throws. He was processing the field, and things seemed to be slowing down for him. It was by far the best drive of the day, and it was the only drive of the day to result in a touchdown. Jeff Nowak said right here that Shuck led a QB1 type of touchdown drive with the second team offense going against the second team defense. He went 8 of 8, throwing a touchdown to Michael Jacobson, who had a pretty nice day. Only faced 1 third down on the opening drive on the 3rd and 7 and found Kevin Austin Jr. And it was a big moment for him on this opening drive. And if you look at the touchdown to Michael Jacobson on your screen, really nice play. Ball was out quick and he found him in the flats for a nice touchdown. So that was a good way to start off the day for Tyler Shuck, but that was pretty much about all the positives for Tyler Shuck's day, at least from a results standpoint. After that, things just didn't continue to go that way for Tyler Shuck. His decisions weren't as decisive. He wasn't being as aggressive. The ball wasn't coming out as fast. He was missing his receivers. The opening drive was the best probably drive of the day, and then things went downhill for Tyler Shuck. On the next 2 drives, Tyler Shuck proceeded to go 3 and out and then 4 and out. Later on, he led a really good drive near the red zone and then proceeded to have a really bad intentional grounding penalty, which put them outside of field goal range, or at least put them out of the red zone at least. And then he nearly threw an interception to Quincy Riley. Not too sure if he was trying to throw this one away, or if he was not too sure if he was actually trying to throw it to Chris Olave or trying to throw it away. If he was trying to throw the ball away, he didn't get enough power on it, and Riley almost got the interception and got 2 feet in. And Quincy Riley is a guy who continues to just find the ball. The ball always seems to end up in his hands. That's nearly his 3rd pick of camp. That's really interesting. We have to keep an eye on him. But we got rookies making plays, day 3 pick rookies. We'll talk about them at another time. But that was a bad moment for Tyler Shuck. And then after the intentional grounding and the near interception to Quincy Riley, Tyler Shuck on the next drive led the team downfield for another drive near the goal line in the red zone, and then he threw an interception to Nephi Sewell. This is a really good angle of the throw, and before anyone says anything, there's going to be a guy who looks open in the flat. Jonas Sanker is covering that. So the guy in the flat is not open. He looks open. He is not open. Jonas Sanker is over there somewhere. Shuck's rolling out left. Tries to find a guy. Chris Olave is right here with his hand up. He looks, and Nephi Sewell gets the pick. He just didn't see him. That's a throw that he's got to get a little bit higher. That guy's not open. Shuck fires it. He did a nice job getting the arm angle around. Who's this guy? Fidel Diggs. He got the ball through one guy, but in the NFL level, Nephi Sewell's going to pick that. He's having a really good camp as well. In college, that might be a touchdown to, I believe, Chris Olave. But Nephi Sewell does a nice job. So just something that Tyler Shuck needs to do a better job adjusting of, maybe lobbing that in there or trying to get that over Sewell as well. Nice play from the linebacker, but a bad moment for the quarterback. So Tyler Shuck started off really well. 8 of 8, best drive of the day, only touchdown drive of the day. And he did have another touchdown pass, but it was dropped by Seth Green, the tight end, the UFL tight end who they signed. He had a drop pass, so that was another touchdown that Tyler Shuck could have had. But outside of that one drive and that one touchdown to Seth Green that was dropped, Tyler Shuck did not have a great day. Jake Haener to me is just kind of there. He's not in the competition, even though he is. I don't really want to go over his day. I think the main focus, of course, is Rattler and Shuck. So the quarterbacks didn't have the best day overall, but if you had to say one quarterback had a really good day or won the day, I think in my opinion and Ross Jackson's opinion, it was Tyler Shuck who had the strongest day of the quarterbacks of the group, I should say. He's the only one that led a touchdown drive. He's the only one who should have had 2 touchdowns and it was dropped. Ross Jackson mentions he has to go back through the notes, but he threw a pick, a should have been pick, but also had 2 touchdowns, or should have been 2 touchdowns on the day, and looked to take more shots, be more aggressive, look to process things a little bit slower. So it's kind of like 2 steps forward, 1 step back with Shuck. Things are starting to progress a little bit better with him. He's starting to see the field maybe a little bit better. but then the results aren't what you want them to be. So at least he's taking steps in the right direction in one area of the field. Now he has to clean up the other area of the field. Overall though, Shuck may have had the strongest day, but it's just not what you want to hear in a quarterback competition. Shuck and Rattler, this is not the best day for them. Only 1 touchdown on 126 plays is insane. That's a scary, scary thought. And this could be the reality of the Saints quarterback room if one of these guys doesn't get it together and neither one of them can start flashing and putting days together and becoming consistent. Onto the defensive side of the ball. The defense was eating today. Chase Young had a lot of plays. Ugo Madi made some plays. The defense in general was just making plays. Danny Stutzman had a pop on Kendra Miller. He laid the boom, and he didn't even go full force. He pulled up at the last minute for not full contact. The defense was cooking today. I've been down on the Saints defense this whole offseason. I thought they're going to be a really bad unit. I'm starting to feel a little bit better about them. But again, that could just be because the offense is bad and they don't really have an answer at quarterback right now where things stand. So that could be it. But I feel a little bit better about the defense. Like we mentioned, the 2 interceptions, Kool-Aid McKinstry, really good camp, got a pick off of Spencer Rattler. He did an excellent job on that play. Nephi Sewell got his 2nd interception of camp. He had one on Tyler Shuck the other day and another one today. He's starting to stand out. He's having a really good camp as well. Ross Jackson mentioned some non-quarterback winners today. Kool-Aid, as we mentioned, was one of them. Nephi Sewell, one of them. Chase Young is one of that we mentioned. Julian Blackman had a really nice pass breakup earlier. The newly signed safety, he's making plays. Looks like he's already a starter for the team. Him and Justin Reed are going to be the safety duo back there. The defense had themselves a really good day. And then there's a guy who keeps making plays as an undrafted guy and defensive end, Jashin Davis. He's a guy who a few days ago had 2 sacks, had a sack the other day, got some pressure the other day, has shown up in the run stuffs, has shown up in one-on-ones. He had a sack today as well. He's getting a lot of pressure. He's starting to stand out, and it's really cool that he's doing this and that he's standing out. We had him on the channel recently, did an interview with him. Really cool dude. Hoping he does well. Hopefully it translates to the preseason. Want to see him start to stand out. But an undrafted guy doing really good things for the Saints at defensive end in Jashin Davis. By far, though, the defense dominated the offense. The quarterbacks, outside of the first few drives, were not able to get into a rhythm or any momentum, and they only scored 1 touchdown. So the Saints defense had themselves a day, and that's kind of been the story of training camp so far. Out of the 10 practices, I'd probably say the defense has won 7 of them. And that's probably to be expected with this quarterback room. Some other notes: the only players who did not practice included Taysom Hill, Foster Moreau, and JT Gray. Everybody else was at practice. There were a few players who got banged up a little bit and had to take a few plays out, but then they went back onto the field, like Will Clapp and Trayton Welch. But from the sounds of it and from the looks of it, only 3 guys missed practice. Juwan Johnson was limited, but he did get some reps, so that's good. He's dealing with a groin thing. But that's it for the attendance. Health and injuries tend to be okay right now. Nick Sotaveri went on IR yesterday. His season is over. Unfortunate for him. Colin Saunders was back after missing yesterday. Saints kicker Blake Grupe had himself a day. He might be like 25 of 26 in camp right now. Made like a 59-yard kick. He is having an outstanding camp, and it looks like he might have solidified himself as the team's starting kicker in this kicking competition. And I'm pretty sure that's all I got for the camp stuff. Real quick, we will be going live for the first Saints preseason game next Sunday. Make sure you're subscribed to that so we can tune in and watch the game together. That's going to be really fun. Got a few little things to clean up for the new live setup, but I'm excited for it. And that does it for today's video. Let me know your biggest takeaways from today's practice down in the comments below. Make sure to like the video and subscribe. Help support the channel. I'm Kaj, and I'll catch you next time. Have a good one.